Welcome back to a short message for you. So we have an Oscar being with us, purring away if you hear the purrs. So how can I say this? In the realm, and it's not a realm, in the fact of life is the following. There is a God the Father, and there is a God the Mother. Okay? And together they make God the Divine. This is not my belief, this is spiritual fact. We all know it, and if you don't like it, do let the door hit you on the ass on the way out. So I'm sitting here talking to the Divine. And I'm like, I need to get some creamer, and I'm probably not going to get any until Monday, which will mean that, which means that, tomorrow I'm having tea, or I'm actually going to try to make some oat milk because I'm curious to know what that tastes like in my coffee. So I'm just sitting here like my body's freaking out because, I love my coffee. And I just had to stop for a second. Now, I'm not sure how short or how long this is going to be, so stay with me. If you choose to, it's up to you. You don't have to do anything you don't want to. And I'm sitting here and I'm, freaking out about it. And I'm like, okay, I can't freak out because I don't have milk for coffee. This is silly. I'm going to get some in a couple of days. It's fine. It's just cold here and I don't want to leave the house tomorrow. So, whatever. And that's when I sat here and I realized, this fear, this is a little bit more of a fear than what it actually needs to be. And those people who have trauma like myself will feel that strong fear. And I was talking with God about it, and I was just sitting here going, God the Divine, I can't hold on to this fear anymore, this fear, because this is representing King Midas, and King Midas was in fear of losing all of his fortune, right? So he would hold on to everything and make sure everything was gold. But I can't do that, because when I do that, I'm not getting the stuff that I want. I'm not beckoning in. The stuff I need isn't coming in. So I sat there and I realized that I needed to have courage. I needed to look at this fear, pick it out, and give it to God the Divine. Because, a lot of times we give stuff to God, we give up to God, we give stuff up. But do you know what you're giving up? What are you doing when you're doing it? You give it to God to hold on his shoulders until a time when you are healthy enough to take back this thing and solve it yourself, heal it yourself. God has healed it this much, now you take it back, and now you heal it the rest of the way, because your healing journey has gotten to that point where you can deal with whatever this is that you had to ask God to take so you could get to that point in your journey of healing. There comes a point in your journey of healing, though, when you feel that fear and you realize, I got to give this up to God the Divine. I absolutely 100% have to. Because this isn't the kind of giving up to God where it's eventually, I've healed to the point where I'm going to take this back. It's not that point where you have to give it to the Divine and transmute it or whatever, or ask God to clean it up to help other people and things. It's that point of fear where you have to ask God to hold on to this. It's like a snow globe, okay? You need God to hold on to this snow globe, because this snow globe is fear. Because that fear is so strong that you can't get the security you need to overcome this fear. And that puts us into a hustle mentality of, I gotta get this, 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 I gotta get this. And it's this rodeo, it's this hamster spinning on a wheel of, I never have enough, I never have enough. But the moment that we take that and we say, God, I need you to hold on to this fear of never having enough or never having whatever it is, because I need to go over here where I see that security, and I need to let that security and that feeling of security come into my life as I am right here. And although, yes, at some point this is a healing point, this is also a point where you're realizing I need to just allow the security in, because this fear is so great that the security waiting for me in the 3D world isn't able to enter because this fear is here. And I need God to hold this fierce sphere of a globe. And I need God to hold on to it tightly so it doesn't shake. Because once I let that 3D security in, and my shoulders relax, and my breath relaxes, and my chest relaxes, and my body and my bladder and my skin and my nervous system and my brain relaxes, that's the moment that this snow globe that the divine is holding, okay, this stick, this sphere, pick one. This is the terrapin. This is God's hand. Whatever God is holding for you, that fear is going to come off of it like you just dusted it, like dirt just fell off of it. And underneath that fear is the security that you've been looking for. Because you had this 3D security come in to make you realize, okay, this is what security feels. And now this fear that was so afraid that it wouldn't let this security in the 3D, the dirt comes off of that. Earth and dirt. The dirt, and what's under that? Queen of Cups, yes. But the dirt comes off of this, and underneath is that security. And then God hands you back that security. God's going to hand you that security back. Because that was the security that was stolen from you. And you hid it in fear. Because it was easier to hide it in fear than it was to let somebody take that security away from you. And that's why sometimes, wow, that's very painful to say through my right side. Because I've been talking to God the Father. And this is directly from God the Father. This is directly from God the Father. And God the Father wants you to know that he's not like your father in real life. He is the unit of God the Mother, which makes God the divine. That's why there are three sexes. So, yeah, that's what God wants you to know. So that's what the divine wants you to know is just hand him that snow globe. And he's got secure hands, because this isn't something that, you're putting on his shoulders. This is something that, needs to be steady and held with a steady hand. So that you can welcome in that feeling of security, so that you can realize that some form of security at some point in time was taken away from you. And in order to protect that last bit of your security, you surrounded it in fear. And then you just led with that fear because you forgot that security was there. But now you have the courage. See, that's a barrier. You had that security behind that barrier for a very, very long time, but now you're older and now you're looking around. Now you're realizing, I don't have to be afraid here. I don't have to be afraid here. I don't have to be afraid here. But what's this big thing? That's what you're looking at, and you're reaching up and you're picking it out and you're going, God, I got to give this to you for a while because I need to feel better in my head and in my body. Okay? Still light outside for whoever needs to know that. I don't know. Number 7 might be important. So yeah, give it up to God means a lot of different things, but if you're going to give it up to God, be specific. Tell God what you need. Tell him if you need it to be transmuted or just cleaned to go to other places. Tell him if you're just putting it on your shoulders until you've healed enough that you can take it back and heal the rest of it. Or if it's something that I need you to hold this while I find this part of me so I can take this part back. It's like it's like mowing the lawn and finding this little piece of cement and realizing, what the heck is this? And then all of a sudden you've got a beautiful patio in front of you because you didn't know that all of this, the grass had grown over it. How are you going to know unless you undig it, right? So, brother. Anyway, Jesus Christ. Anyway, that is for you. Be good, be happy, be yourself. Don't forget to like and subscribe. And I hope that this has helped you. I know that my whole right side feels a lot more at ease. And remember, you didn't cause your own fear. Anyway, I love you.